All right, guys.
hell
Welcome
is this,
to
Ashley?
the community meeting. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ravage. I run this project for Loaded, and I am generally here to run the full community meeting myself.
Bud.
However, I'm going to test with having a couple of people from that are big parts of the admin team to help me run pieces of this as well. So I'd like to introduce a couple people up here on the stage today. Number one is
No
Smoshny,
way.
who does most of our game design and UX design. He's Chatter of the Year in Lord Kabun's stream, which is kind of sad or good. I'm not
That's
sure
true.
which of those are.
That's
But
true.
you
That's
want to
true.
introduce yourself, Smoshny?
Oh my god. Hi, I'm doing a dev work, so you have features. Hope you are gonna enjoy this patch. It's big.
Okay. Next up, we have Ook as well. Ook does a lot of our 3D stuff. He's well known within the
I
29 community
me.
as well for a lot of his tutorial videos, etc. I have Ook here to talk about any 3D changes and stuff we've made for this patch. You can introduce yourself, Ook, or whatever you want to do.
Oh, is that good?
You guys can see now why we don't normally invite them to community meetings.
Rogue.
All right. Next up, we have Cheddar. Cheddar does the majority of the in-server events for us. He's been holding up a lot of that side of the house, managing that department for us. He was a big part, actually. We were training him to do game design in the World's End before we probably test him out to do some stuff for 4.0. So he did a serviceable job there, I would say, in a short amount of time. So that's pretty impressive, in my opinion. So I don't know if you want to introduce yourself, Cheddar.
Hello. Please don't DM me.
Okay. Can I get a proper introduction?
So I'm Cheddar. I do event stuff in medical. It's fun.
Okay. You all sound so excited to be here. Like, what the fuck happened to you in the last 30 minutes?
Is this an
of talking
update
to
or
you?
like are we shutting down?
Yeah, like, what is going on with you guys? You're part of the problem, Mook.
Just sad.
Don't blame me.
Okay.
You're supposed to start telling us. Yeah, you're supposed
I'm
to tell us.
a
why stuff's
product of
under
my
the map.
environment.
Delu's been my right hand for a while since Twitch RP, I would say. Going back a long time. She's learned, I'd say you've learned a little bit from me, but you've done a lot of learning through the ringer with running our public server for us. And now I've brought Delu back to help us, to help me, I guess, run the day-to-day on the Alalis server. So
Hello. I think most people probably already know who I am. Yeah, I've been working with Ravage for 10 years. Coming on 10 years, maybe?
Yep.
Or I've been in this space for 10 years, so yeah. I've been overrunning public since we launched that, and now I'm stepping back into the LLS space.
Yep. And glad to have the help, to be honest, to keep things organized. So, all right. So, a lot of you are seeing what we have up here on the screen. It's patch 2.8, which is the road to 4.0. And we'll get into what that means here in just a little bit. But the first thing that we want to acknowledge on this current version is the roleplay quality across the server has been slipping with a huge leaning towards PvP content, which is fueling poor interactions and is draining a lot of will for a large part of our player base. The focus of this patch is to try to reroute some of the purpose and end game for criminals and civilians and get back to more chases, lean away from shootouts. And a lot of the changes in this have been about reducing the need to shoot and the benefits of shooting and the ease of doing hop outs, et cetera, like that. So we'll get into what that means in a little bit. Don't overthink it yet. We'll have a lot of explanations on all of this. The TLDR, though, is the state of the server. Listen, the gun updates just weren't it.
You're so weird, Eileen. You're actually on God, Eileen. You're weird.
The faction stuff didn't really take off.
On God.
We need to reroute from that, and we probably could have did it sooner. To be honest, so we're a little behind on this, and we'll acknowledge that. First off, I want to talk about Prodigy. What's next for Prodigy? With Prodigy 4.0, it's been talked a lot about in an unofficial capacity, and it's important to clear up a number of points on this. The update is not imminent. It's not going to be coming this month. It's something that it's very far along development, but we're not going to launch this right now. We have a plan of when we're going to launch it, and the reality is that if you're just sitting around saying I'm not going to play because the update's probably coming this month, then you're delusional. I'm sorry, like it's not this. It's not like coming right away. So there are still updates planned after 2.8, and some of the things I really want to hone in on here are that we're going to be very selective on prio and who keeps their allow list for 4.0. Where we have been and will continue to be going through the allow list, and there's a lot of people that have been demonstrating some really poor role play, and that stuff has been, you have been removed from contention for 4.0 as it stands right now. If you're doing good RP and you're trying to create stories, you need to keep doing that. If you're constantly in shootouts and not contributing to the server, I would really expect not to have a whitelist for 4.0. We're going to be really strict on this. I think a lot of people have gotten in that probably don't really fit the mold for the future going forward for what we want to do. So we'll be testing a lot of rules, mechanics, and different concepts for 4.0 on different parts of the live server as we go forward a little bit. So that's something for you to know, that we're going to try a lot of things over the next couple of months to see how they work.
Ravel,
Misspelled
get back in
Prodigy,
chat.
Project RP. Where's Prodigy misspelled? Was this my Polish developers?
That's probably on me.
Where?
Classic.
It's not misspelled. No, it says 4.0/Project RP on live servers.
Last line, apparently.
Yeah. Either way, we're doing a lot of things that are exciting going towards 4.0. And I think the thing you guys need to understand is that we are really, it's always been spelt that way. Anyway, we're going to be testing a lot of things on the main server. And that means that there may be things that initially people may have a visceral reaction to that we won't use going towards 4.0. But we'll be doing a test with them. So just so you guys to understand that we may do things that are unpopular. We may do things that are popular. We may do things that work, some things that don't work, but we're going to try a lot of different concepts. We did a lot of this. Some of you remember in the last half of 1.0.
You
So
good, GP?
we'll be
Don't
doing
worry.
that again. First thing I want to talk about is I'm going to let Cheddar take this one, but it's on the government and the mayorship.
Yeah, so the reality is Gunner's been on a whitelist server. Gunner's been mayor for far too long. So we're going to give him a little grace. We've got Gamer Girlish working on the elections. We've started a new election cycle where we're going to be having it end February 1st. So pretty soon here, we'll be having a new mayor in the city. We gave Gunner a lot of support OOC, and we're going to do the same for the new mayor. We're going to, honestly, early on, it works pretty well, where just a mayor and a deputy mayor, so we're going to run the same thing. City council just adds too much red tape RP, which just honestly isn't fun. So you're going to see a lot of changes in the government coming up soon.
Okay, cool. Yeah, one of the big things I really want to focus on, it was a big mistake for us not to probably do a re-election once Jack had messaged me, but it was like really close to December when we kind of knew he wasn't coming back. So that's kind of on us, to be honest. We probably should have did it faster, but this is exciting and should create some good role play. We're going to give the same support we gave the Jack that we did to the others. So public server mayor, Delu can answer that question. I have no idea if that's something they're planning to do or will consider. I don't know.
I mean, it's something we can consider, just in the current climate. We didn't really think it would fit. It's something we've discussed amongst the senior staff over there. I'll probably discuss it a little bit more. Go from there with the launch of 4.0, most likely.
Okay, perfect. Well, you've heard it there. Next up, the police force. This was funny slides that Smashny had put on here, and I kept it because some of it's true. I'm going to be stepping back into PD in a way you'll see after this here, in which we are going to be very forceful on some standards in terms of, the base things that PD should be doing well, which is like being effective as PD in the field, like doing things like chases and our comms and that thing up to standards. We're gonna be kind of ruthless with this. Actually, I've actually become sick of all the excuses and bullshit that a lot of people give me all the time. And I'm just going to say it straight. I've sent people who have argued with me literally to the public server to just see how wrong they are on a lot of these things. Sure, was the public server maybe a little harder on things like stuff in the cells and, you know, in terms of like RP things. Yeah, sometimes I would say maybe it isn't as high as a quality or content standard is what needs to happen on the allow list. But and things like the comms and doing parallels and chases and shootouts, I'm sorry, those things just don't change. And our PD is just not good at those things. And unfortunately, I don't really care anymore for people telling me that it's that we can't do these things on allow list. Everyone else does them. Every other police force in existence does them. We're going to get the comms right. We're going to get uphold standards on chases. We're going to uphold standards on the way we act in shootouts. And I don't really care if anyone gets their feelings hurt. Even if that's a content creator, if that's people have been in PD on 1.0 or 2.0 for a long amount of time, we don't care because it has to change. It's miserable on our allow list PD. And I'm not going to pretend like it's not
I need
anymore.
spikes, bro.
You go on and you hear people yelling like idiots on the radio. About 90% of the time, you can't hear things. You have sensory overload. People just are just standing in MRPD or out in the curb, turning the radios off. There is literally no standard. And I'm sorry if people think there is one. There just isn't. And that's over. As of today, it's over. And period. And if anyone thinks any different than that, you're coping. Seriously. Very, very much so. If you cannot see the difference in how effective people are in one place versus the other on the same exact framework with the same exact SOPs, I'm sorry, but you're crazy. And I'm done pretending like it's not that way, because it is. And all it takes is look at the last year and a half, and you can see that is exactly the way I'm telling you it is. People just don't put the effort into actually trying to get better in PD at all. They just sit there, they complain, they moan, and it needs to stop. And we'll show you how that's done. I'm going to bring Delu back, Kem's back in a bigger capacity now, and Lane, and we're just not taking people's shit anymore on this. Like the time for
this makes no fucking sense. Suck my dick, whoever this is.
We tried it different ways for different people. And that's done. One big change that's happening here for a temporary fix, because this is kind of plagued the server, is PD are not able to be robbed for a little bit. We're going to get a little bit more into this shortly. But for right now, PD are no longer to be robbed until we see some changes happen on the server that make this a little bit more manageable going forward. The number of quality of life changes requested by PD were implemented in this patch, including some like major pain points. None of these are bad, by the way. There'll be a full change log here in a little bit. We did a full activity purge for inactive PD members based on SOPs on January 22nd. There was some drama around like a comment a staff made, what was supposed to be a joke in their mind, with Sifu. Before this,
the kid's literally just fucking plus one-ing everything I'm saying.
I want to be really clear on that. I want people to understand that on Prodigy, we've always had a standard where we don't care if people play on other servers. And we continue to have that standard. We are not here to please content creators, whether that's PD or anywhere else. So we will not be removing people for playing.
Suarez is crying as he typed that.
Right.
Yeah, and don't be nervous. I just want to add to that.
Yeah.
A lot of people get nervous about doing it. We don't care.
Yeah. I did, however, do an activity purge on like the entirety of PD. And I put an announcement out right away. It was just instructions on how you can get rehired. So anyone who freaked out and had a visceral reaction, I talked to Frosty like 2 days ago as well on this, or it's just like literally this was accompanied by announcement. I think part of the problem here is that if you didn't know there was an announcement right in the PD Discord and you haven't logged in for a long period of time, like that's why the removal happened, right? And I think it says more about an engagement of some people. So, but there's a lot of people that have been around PD for a long time. We have tons of respect for them, and it's just at a point on the server's life cycle that we have to things like houses, PD rosters, that type of thing. They need to be managed, guys. It's important. We just can't leave people in perpetuity on these rosters and expect to know every LOA, every person that's away for a month or 2 months. So next up, there's also going to be major changes to PD today. There's going to be big changes to PD today. So be prepared for that. There's a lot of role play, though. also coming to that because the roleplay server, and it's going to be good. So, EMS and doctors. Oh, actually, PD stuff, Delu.
You kind of briefly already touched on it.
Hold on.
Spoilers.
You gotta hide your screen now.
I know. God damn it.
Ruined.
Why does this always happen to me, of all people? Man, like all these like meta chats and stuff now just like are going back frame by frame, seeing each slide before I speak. You know that's happening, right? That is
already
happening.
on roleplay clips, Rav. I found the video.
Sometimes I'm an idiot. I'll say it. Like, listen, a lot of people just call me an idiot for sport, for fun. But there is times where I'm in, and this is one of these times.
Yeah, PD already has him, GP.
It is impressive, Let's get back to things here, guys. Welcome back to the community meeting. Nothing happened. Delu, is there anything you want to add on the PD stuff?
Again, you pretty much already touched on it, but I was just gonna add like we have standards and we adhere to the standards on public, and I feel like that it creates a big difference in the fact that
Yo, this is
consistency
legit.
key,
Like a third
and,
grade PowerPoint.
Some things just are non-negotiable when it comes to SOPs.
Yo, you know how they
And all
told you
SOPs
like
should
when
be
you were in
non-negotiable.
school? Remember when they said in school you're
we-
not to
we-
put like
we give
complete
leeway
sentences as
sometimes
bullets?
for roleplay, but things like inner standards, like
They're
radio
just-
comms.
They
and,
just typed everything out and put
like,
it in
the
bullets
use
and
of
just
force
reading
and
it.
our police response when responding to the criminal side of things, they're just non-negotiable, and I feel like people have been getting a lot of slack on
We are
that
weighing
kind of
proposals
stuff
to
in
make
a
more
while, so
roleplay central doctor department.
that's
This requires a
it's going to be a thing anymore. We're going to be changing that.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of changes to help PD
There will be
today,
rules implemented
but
and
also
enforced this in the
PD
very near future.
also
Next
needs to
slide.
help themselves because otherwise
EMS and doctors.
there's no point in the
We are
changes
weighing
being
the
made, because PD is going to continually fall into this trap. EMS and doctors. Cheddar, I don't know if you want to talk about this, about us weighing proposals.
Yeah. I've been reading chat with what you guys are saying about EMS and doctors, bring back doctors. I want to make it clear, doctors are still around right now. We're just not seeing the level of role play from doctors that I find acceptable. I am extremely so for those that don't know, I run EMS and med. I am extremely strict on who I bring into EMS and who I bring into med. I don't do /me RPing. I think it's garbage RP. You can disagree, but I think it's boring, not content focused RP. We do have doctors that role play right now. There's a very few of them, but the ones I have picked are very good. So we do want to grow the department more, but I need that to be.
What is he
I need it to
talking
be
about?
understood that we want quality role play. I don't want people who just stand in a hospital talking to each other all day in a circle. I want people who role play. We have avenues out right now that you could own your own practice as a doctor.
Can we have Ramee
People
get
just
treated by
aren't
the one
putting in
doctor
the
who
role
goes to
play
full
to do it.
surgery every time?
So
I'll literally off myself.
I just want people to understand that we want to expand this, but it requires people to actually role play on the server. And that includes the doctors. It's not just the players and the patients.
I'll fucking die before I get
from
surgery.
my perspective, what we need to see is the player base actually adopt to role playing with doctors when they're there. Because right now they just kind of go in and out. It's like TikTok brain in the hospital. So if we want to see this stuff come back and be able to be a thing, people need to really change their perspectives on how they interact with that stuff. And we're going to look at rules for like our
hold on
careers
now.
and that type of thing. At least going into 4.0.
Hold on now.
Maybe we might try some stuff here in 2.0, but the reality is that we really need
I'll
the player
fucking
base
blow
to
my
kinda
brains
change
out before you see me getting surgery.
the way
I'm
they-
keeping a
they
buck
interact with
150,
us.
boys. Boys, I'll die in this fucking
Next up,
hell.
We have the DOJ.
Hey, I'm gonna die in this hell. I'm gonna keep it a
You guys
buck.
heard me talk about a lot of changes for PD.
Like,
The
hey.
stuff that I want everyone to see here is that we're also making changes. To make this a
DOJ,
lot more
Coyote, Vance,
manageable.
and A-hole
First of
are
all,
now
we've
chained
made
to
it
the
so that Coyote, Vance, and A-hole are chained to the judge's chair, and they can never leave. So they have to hear
What?
cases all day long.
Max time for cell
Um,
charges: 60 months for
that's
one
a joke.
incident, 2 months for 2 incidents.
That's a joke. The max time for cell charges, we've actually made it. This is something we did with a lot of success actually in Twitch RP back in the day, and we've seen work. We've made it so that we've made maxes per incident, right? So 60 months, 120 months. Add 60 basically up until you get to 5, so that you won't be seeing these big, huge things outside of like bench trials and court charges. So people who argue to try to bring things to bench trials will come with some risk where you could double that up. Either way, this is going to be a big boon for content creators, role players who are just trying to make scenes and play in like the bottle or the box of the day, right? And it's going to be good for that, but it also makes police able to charge up for things that are like multi-incidents. So like Chan Gang will probably still get like 300-month sentences because they get caught when they have like 10 incidents. But you know, for the small gang stuff that have just been got on one-offs, it'll be much more manageable. And that's a joke, obviously. Yeah, I'm sure this makes it so that criminals can be a little bit more okay with going down in an incident, right? And maybe giving the cops a win every now and then. The max time for court charges is uncapped, obviously.
Or as he said it for our peers, you're in the clear.
Shit out of a lot of fines. They're trying to hit a lot of criminals that are into bigger crimes, right? That have lots of money, that have been doing stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll take your gripes later, Kevin. If you want in the town hall, you can express it in our question period. Okay. Did people hear silence?
I can hear you.
Okay. The next thing we want to talk about is business and civilian hubs. We've really fixed this 4.0. But we're trying to pseudo fix it for now. So what we've done is we've added some small hubs. Some still needs to be done in the south side in particular, but we've added like a very comprehensive one in the north where we have redistributed a lot of businesses in places where businesses will go. We seized a lot of businesses last night because we took a lot of MLOs out. But the idea is to bring a lot of new life this week with new business owners. This will also lend itself towards the arc that's going on in character right now. You'll see more about that when we start up the server in a little bit. Some of that pre-RP happened this weekend. But yeah, we're going to see a lot more places with more, like Sandy should, in theory, be a big hub.
I kill you for me, me for you, and I risk you for you and me for you.
Mechanic, car lot. We cut down the car lots to 2. So there's gonna be car lot, mechanic shop, food place, and some other stuff there that I don't want to talk about yet. That'll all be in that little hub area. So that'll make that a nice little community. They can't hear you. People can hear me in Discord. So, restaurants, another thing we'll be doing by next week, you'll probably see this once we get to this point, is sit down restaurants will have some buffs, right? So if you sit down, you eat in like a sit down restaurant, they'll have like really quick expiries. They'll put the food in front of you, and if you eat it there, you'll get like a buff. That won't be as good as like drugs or anything like that, like end game drugs, but it'll be something that people can use and will be beneficial, and something that, you know, the cops might do every now and then as well, right? We can't make it as heavy as like end game drugs because they require a lot of work and have risk to lose by criminals. But overall, I think these are good changes that we're bringing.
Bro, I feel like nobody even pays attention to these meetings. They just all go to this chat and see who can say the funniest shit.
Yeah, I mean, so there's been good RP and bad RP around businesses lately, and we're really going to try to bring out the good RP, is what I'll say. I know a lot of people are thinking that like storylines are going to get cut because the businesses are getting, quote, seized, but I just want everyone to be assured. There's a lot more that's going to come out of this. This is just the start.
Today will be
very interesting.
Today will start a spicy week.
Yes.
Okay. House repos is another thing I want to talk about. We obviously don't give forward notice on house repos because what ends up happening, people who just log in to save their house and have no intention of playing come in and reclaim it, right? That's the problem that we have with house repos, and that's why we don't give notice on them. It always is, if you're not active or you don't pay your maintenance fees, that's always the expectation. It always has been on Prodigy. So some people have gotten a little upset on this one, but I have to tell you that this is just how we've done it. We just haven't done them in a little while. This is extremely important for server health. Active players have the ability to obtain housing. So active players have the ability to obtain housing on the server. Like, this is quintessential to the play experience for people to feel like they have a gameplay loop, right? So if there's people just sitting on houses that aren't logging into the server, that aren't paying their maintenance, right, that needs to be dealt with, and it has. right? And it opens things up for other players to be able to get things on the server, which is very important. We know about the frustration, but yeah, I'm hoping people understand, right? So the one thing we will own is that we did miss a reclaim cycle, and we'll be doing it monthly going forward. Rule additions. So Ravage will ban exploiters. This was on here as like a filler text, and then I just added, and most of ESB plus Suarez plus Jose Santana, and I'll unban the South Side, which this is honestly just a salt mine slide, so we're just going to go past that. This is a big one here. Convoy rule. Don't freak out. You cannot use more than 3 cars in a rolling shootout. This has been requested for a long time by a lot of people, but with this change, don't worry, driver shooting has been re-enabled. And cars take more bullet damage now as well. So this should help curb a lot of the hop out meta. This does not apply to PD because it would be way too hard. This is guided by SOPs, and we'll change this on the fly as we need to. Those are ever changing. I think everyone needs to understand that that's a thing. If a car is disabled or fleeing a fight, it is acceptable to. Also, just so you know, so even in the worst circumstance with this, PD would have 6 cars.
Cannot use more than 3 cars in a roll shootout. Driver
right?
shooting
And
is
that would be in,
re-enabled.
like,
This does
very,
not apply to PD.
Very, very rare circumstances like interference cars. You know, if a car is disabled or fleeing a fight, it's acceptable to go over the limit when stealing cars to flee. We understand that RP needs to be dynamic, so it's really important.
I wonder if people know.
That, I think because
people
otherwise
call it warlording, but I wonder if people know
right. I think we
what
need
the
to
term
leave it
of
open for the fact
warlording
that,
is and who
someone
would
might have
derive
to steal a
from.
B or A class car to get the fuck out of the
Masa with it.
or out of the shootout, right? And I think it's okay to roll things out. We'll adapt this roll as we need to, but for right now, I think this is good for fights. We've also added into a caveat of convoys of supercars roaming the map to chase people down in conflict, low quality RP, and will treat as fail RP by the staff team. I think it's important because it's not really the problem of having 2 or 3 supercars in a shootout. It's more you see like I remember like what a lot of gangs do is they'll get like 5 supercars and just roll around the city, you know, just circling cars and stuff. Like that's what we're talking about here, to be clear. We may reword some of these things to make the wording better, as with everything, but I think this is a step in the right direction. Pocket wiping. We changed this rule and broke it down to 3 rules because it was getting confusing for people. Pocket wiping is not allowed. Pocket wiping is taking most of all of a player's inventory with no RP reason, or taking items only to punish, grief, or mechanically benefit yourself. Taking specific meaningful items tied to RP is allowed. Cleaning players out of all items with no RP reason is strictly against the rules. So this doesn't keep you from taking a few things off of someone or a gun or things that matter in like a shootout. What this really does here is just clarifies that, you know, the same thing the old rule did really is that if you're just doing this to just loot box people, that's a problem. That's how we'll.
This is my 9/11.
Looting after shootouts. This needed a clarification. You may loot briefly after shootout, but looting may occur for up to 2 minutes or until the police begin the scene cleanup. We've had a real problem with this, with triages being attacked constantly way after a shootout is over. And you may not make other wait while you loot. This is just like a sub point of this. The 2 minutes is really the guiding point here in the triage. Staying on the scene with multiple cops is fail RP, meaning if you're circled by 4 cops trying to come clean up people and you are not leaving and trying to loot all 10 cops, that's a problem. If you wouldn't realistically still be there, you shouldn't be looting. And conflict ends. So we've also did this. I tagged this on. I'll reword this a little bit better as well later. Conflict ends when the shooting stops. So when there's a 5-minute break in shooting, we've put guidance here. That's when the conflict ends. Loot period comes in, or until police come in and swarm the place for resupply. But you may not loot, resupply, and re-engage. So if you're away for 5 minutes from that fight and you come to re-engage, it's over, right? Don't do it. It's a new conflict at that point. And any breakout or taking of members must happen within the period ending conflict. And I think this gives good guardrails and guidance for people. We might change this again, but I think this is pretty good. And if anyone has questions about this, we'll have a question.
Am I getting hacked? Like,
and then we add looting police. Not to be confused, we've disabled it for now, but we still needed to clarify this rule if we turn it back on. So we basically said police are not a resupply mechanic. You may loot police only during an active shootout to stay in the same fight. Once the shootout ends, looting police is over. And this is where it brings you to the end of shootout rule. So it's like really clear now, like when you should
Kylie
stop the police, you know,
Yo, I
Pinelli.
was just talking about you like last
But
week.
yeah, no post-fight resupplying, no taking multiple PD weapons. That's efficient RP and story build up. So if you come and try to pull a Alex,
I was
Flores
thinking
and
about
take
our
ARs
yokai
off
arc.
of bodies, and you're hunting across rooftops for him.
Fucking cinema.
You'll see, I have him here.
Fuck my
Rem
Yumi.
dog. Did we get a good angle?
I forgot the other guys.
You like that? Listen,
I was talking about how me and you hated each other up
can
until I
joke
joined
about it. We talked
yokai. To
about
be
it
honest
this
with you.
but
Because you
and
came
no
from
farming
family
cops or traffic
RP,
stops or
and
routine
so like
cameras.
our
This is basically the same,
RP
but it's just,
visions
like,
didn't
restructured
align
stuff.
up until
like where
like,
we stand on all this stuff, and adds like a buffer so people
know?
don't get in trouble.
and then we
they don't
became
need
like
to.
really cool.
So we just also have at a caveat: looting is not guaranteed after
You know?
shootout. Once the fight is effectively over, the scene must end believably. Criminals are expected to escape or disengage. We're just having a lot of problems where like we have
I missed the yokai
gangs
arc.
just standing on top of.
That was such a
fucking
good,
cop
like,
bodies while cops are trying to
man.
move in. Like at some point,
You guys
the scene
remember?
has to move forward.
Remember when we met in my
Like I
mansion?
said, all this stuff
and we
subject to
RPG'd
change,
everybody?
might change, but who knows? But here we're at the exciting part, ladies and gentlemen. Are we ready? Now that I've bored you and you've had to listen to my dumbass speak for 34 minutes.
I walk in the spot and the bass start bending. Whole room shake when my aura start extending. I don't say much, but my fit scream different. Pockets too loud, they talking more than I'm listening. Chrome on the jeans, big shine when I pivot. Left hand froze like time got skipped in it. They don't want no smoke, but they talk like they live in it. I'm the type to go ghost and return like a glitch in it. Bitch, I'm too geeked up, I'm wide just like a circuit. Money do last round the block like it's motherfucking urgent. Like got test, but I move.
Abandoned survival camps. Are we in the zombie server? Military crates. Robbing ATMs is back. W. Ooh. Ollies are back. Silencers. Gun rebalances. New guns. Ooh. Trap houses risk increase. Petty buff crime buffs. Death to hop outs. New toll system. Fines increased. Prison time capped. High speed drug deliveries. W. Higher. This is so fast, bitch. I can't read all this. Is that Vinny, bro? Ooh. Yeah, there's a new heist. W.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Buddy's algorithm
What
is,
do we think?
is puppy videos and. Bro, what is your algorithm?
What do we think? A lot of cool stuff there. A lot of stuff to unpack. It's all pretty cool, I think.
What the fuck was his algorithm?
We have tried a lot of things with the update. Hold on, let me just fix the. Yeah, I mean, it was done fast on a reason, guys. For a reason. It was done fast, so you go back and you watch the video. That's why. I'll just be honest with you. I'll tell you the secret. That's why it was done. The 80 new mini skirts. I don't know. We could look at it though. Okay. There are a number of new activities. I've only put some high points off of this, just so you guys understand.
3 new heists
There
that
are
will be
new
time
ATM
unlocked
robberies,
with heist prep
tows
enabled
returned,
today.
So we have some good petty
Multiple
crime
open world
options that are
events, tons of
fun,
new
chase
updates, open
oriented.
ATM robberies.
A couple of different ways to rob the ATMs. As
I'm
well.
excited about the heists.
We have multiple open world events. These are
We're
you'll see
low-key
what
back,
these
boys.
are like.
The heists.
They're not what you think. Some people said, "What is this DayZ?" And like, it's not like that. It's just stuff to give things in the world where people can vie for, essentially. 3 new heists that will be time unlocked with heist prep enabled today. You may have seen hints to some of those heists in here as well. Into the trailer. There's a bunch of other stuff here. Tons of new updates to the map. I don't really want to get into all those here. You guys can get in and explore the server and see it. We've changes here. We
Solo
actually
criminal and
opened up
new
a thread,
games.
and I had a talk with Kevin and Ramee, and then separately I had talks with Geo and
We're going to
ZB,
catch.
and I was gonna have a talk with the BSK guys, but Maximus put a bunch of his feedback in the thread. Thank you for that. That was really helpful. And we just we did overtime on all the devs to just make sure that we put as much quality of life in this patch as we could. Like, we put so much. We've been working nonstop to make sure that we get all the quality of life in. So a big thing is that the servers had a tough time for solo criminals. So we opened up a lot of the gang only activities to solo players and player groups so that it has more variety on the server, and you don't need to have a 15-20 person gang to be able to participate in these things. We made a catch-up modifier of 100% XP to level 10. So that's just double, just so you guys understand, on the gang app for any new gangs, so that new gangs have a chance to catch up. Gang overall XP is buffed by 30% so people can progress the battle pass. I had a lot of feedback from people that are having trouble with that. And while it's older content, we still want people to be able to complete it if they wish. Drug improvements. The end game of drugs has been a significant point of debate on the state of the drug protection on the server. We brought back cornering, which is a big thing, in my opinion. That was a really fun thing.
That was the high season. Good.
Both drug traps per sale values have been reduced. Well, not so significantly, a little bit. Drugs in general have had a rebalance, to be honest, in terms of what payouts are for selling them, and we've made a lot more benefit to cornering and doing individual sales because it's harder work than the trap. The trap takes a while, and this is feedback that I took from a lot of the people that I talked to before that do like the daily grinding and the different groups. So drugs rebalanced. There's more usage for pure meth. You can use it for a new buff and use the lace. Low quality, low max quality meth benefits are now consistent. So they weren't before. Some of them were like doing a healing effect when they should just be doing damage reduction. That was a miss on our part. Lacing needs pure meth instead of any quality now. So there's like a bigger reason to do more pure meth. And actually try to have control of that instead of people just working together, kumbaya, for the meth trap. Cocaine, instant health adjusted, and it's mostly max health now for cocaine instead of being a heal as well. That was a little imbalanced. So we'll be back to like medical supplies and that type of thing, and weed having more value. Meth trap and pure meth have been given better use for end game as well. So these are like good. These are pretty good changes, I think, and we will adapt and change these if we see that they need to be changed again. We'll be really active, and we'll adapt to what people's feedback is here. Baby Driver and Forza Enthusiast changes. We heard you loud and clear. There's been too much pew pew and not enough vroom vroom. We've done new timed drug drop-off activity. So think of this like you have a timed run to drop drugs off as an option.
As class boost payouts
so
increased,
maybe
changed up VIN scratch requirements and added a conversion item.
Most times you have poop rewards. Boosting, we've made pen drive craftable again, so it's not a huge barrier to entry. People can get in and do it. S-class boost payouts have been increased. We've changed up VIN scratch requirements as a big contention for people doing boosting and adding conversion items for low quality meth for already in progress contracts. There's 100% XP change for boosting to catch up to level 30 now, and now there's an overall boosting XP increase by 45% so people can get in, get active, and participate. So this is all good stuff, making it so that you can get in and roleplay the character you want to without being hampered by aggressive grinding. Oh, hold on. Oh, this is more from the same thing. Gun smuggling is a big one we changed as well.
What the fuck are you saying?
We did A-class cars. Oh my God. Someone just sent me a picture still of Geo literally cheering with his hands in the air for bank trucks or gun smuggling. We changed the van to an A-class car from a list so that it's a chase thing, and the tracker is extended for intense chases and updates at a more interesting rate for PD to be able to catch up, and it's actually a getaway for when you do these gun contracts now. R2. We are pushing R2 in the forefront of the racing story, especially with Haas over at the World's End, and to daily drive the racing storyline across the server. And he'll be overseeing this distribution of
Yo, Dennis is funny.
Involving people and roleplay.
Dennis fell for it.
People will be contacted as well. We'll be trying to use a blueprint that we've received from we've seen work on Brazil and other servers that really make racing extremely exciting in those places. Race PD calls for races are fired before checkpoints are reached. Encourage police presence, which is a big change, a good one. And race currency items have been adjusted by
Rich, get back in fucking chat, bitch.
To make these changes. To make changes that are like that'll be well liked by the racing community because he's dialed in there. Police, we have not forgotten you, my friends. This is a big list, a big fuck off list we asked for from police, and we looked at what we could do, what would be good for server health versus not. First things, all vehicles that are given by legal jobs and rentals have more intuitive rental paperwork so that you can RP when people have job cars, that type of thing. You can now hand items directly to drivers. So that's a big thing. So like tickets, that type of thing. I mean, that's a big deal for a lot of people who daily PD or have. Frisk mechanics have been added to pat down for weapons and larger criminal items so that we can accurately RP Terry frisk without pissing the fuck off out of criminals. Government IDs now only show the picture of the original owner instead of the person showing the ID. So the picture will be from when you actually get the ID or when you spawn into the world. PD cuff scuff. We've drastically improved PD cuff targeting and prioritizing ragdoll players over standing fellow cops, etc. This is good because it just felt clanky and shit, to be honest. Multiple items rotated between the armory and transports to make more sense and enable RP. This is good both for criminals and cops, by the way. The items that are in the transports now, criminals will want to get. Instead of like, I think BSK, I got feedback that they had looted a PD transport the other day, where they only got wires, right? So not very good. Not a very fulfilling experience for criminals. Now it'll be things that, you know, we've given PD back things they need on a daily basis to encourage role play, and we've made it so that both criminals and PD are doing these for things that matter. The PD Terrorizer. This is a big feedback due to the recent CG raid. We noticed that a lot of the cop looting actually happened because they're looking for the items that came from the raid. So what we've done now is we made the Terrorizer has a massive inventory and weight capacity, and criminals have to, even if the car is unlocked, the criminals have to like blowtorch the trunk or blow it up or whatever it is. I can't remember what we did, but this is good, and it takes time to do. So like it's not a quick snatch and grab type of thing. So there's like counterplay, and it'll be fun and it'll be risky to go and do it. I think we're missing a lot of that for criminals right now, is the feeling of risk reward and it being fulfilling to be a criminal with PD. Because right now, when the PD win, it really sucks for criminals, and then the PD lose a lot in really shitty ways. So it's like not enjoyable really for either side. Drug calls increase chances of calls for PD. I think this is a big thing that PD want, because they want to be able to chase drug calls instead of just going to back to back shootouts. Criminals can no longer spawn in wrapped houses. Apparently, this is a bug that went unreported for a while, but that exploit has been removed. PD trackers can now be removed from the tracker gun. This is a big one for criminals and cops, because cops weren't using it for that reason, apparently. And then taser scuff on still targets fixed. We had to pull this, but we're working on it, actually. So sorry, this isn't in just yet, but it will be fixed. And as a result of this, I want to be really clear that we're going to be enforcing on when cops tase a lot more, because people tase and just immediately in a lot of situations, and that's just not good role play. Combat balance and the hop out era has ended. Sorry, Suarez, Gio, Zolo. It was fun, dog, but we're good. AR is no longer able to be pre-drawn in cars, which should be a big thing, and cars disable the gunfire much quicker than they did in the past. So this would really help with the hop out mentality a lot. It'll obviously change the meta, and something dumb and frustrating will overtake. Yes.
One update to interrupt. The stun gun was fixed.
It was fixed. Woo!
It is fixed.
And for those who don't know the bug on the stun gun, standing still targets couldn't even be tased a lot of times. It's been a long-standing pain point. So, combat balance for gun damage, gun calibrations, upgrades removed. No more gold guns. The loop is replaced with new guns to encourage trap usage, among other activities. So there's no in-game purpose. Time to kill increase, leading to longer shootouts. Balance to 50s and eagles. Lowered the headshot damage on these because they were a little nutty. I think we can all agree. But they're still better than the other guns, for sure. With that, we may have to change the loop a little bit, make them a little easier to get. I think we have done that to a certain degree, Smashny. We've added a new method to get them as well.
Which one, sorry?
The 50s and deagles. We added a different way to craft those, right? I think.
Yes, the gun room is completely rebalanced, and it's right now way less grand.
So it'd be way more reason to go and do the gun room. Bullet sway has been removed. This is a big one for the community, I'm sure. If someone clip this,
oh my God, it has finally.
Hutch will finally be like, I've said this 8 months ago. And he'll get real pissed off. But we've replaced it with increased recoil. It was a suggestion from within the dev team. shields in general no longer repel bullets on the back or in car. This has been, I don't know how many times I have had complaints from criminals saying cops wearing shields in cars can't kill them. They're being fucking rats. You know, like I cannot tell you how much. And then the amount of times I've had cops complaining, oh, the criminals have shields, can't kill them, blah, 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 blah. You know, so this is a big one as well, I think.
What are you saying, Lewis?
Crouch has been improved.
No, I'm not
Remember how
gonna
you
do
the
that,
pop
Lewis.
up, pop, pop, pop. You're doing squats instead of crouching. That's fixed and it's a lot better. Feels better for combat. That's really cool. No more squats.
Time to kill is
Shots
increased.
and Ramee. You might have to actually go to the gym in game now. You can't auto squat anymore. Petty crimers, store robbery rewards buffed and refreshed. Shoe robberies, increased hustling value.
Fuck
There's
is
been
this
new
guy
shoes
talking
added.
about?
Car chopping reward is improved, and there's new activities. There's been buffs outside of that too that I can't remember. We took a look at a bunch of the petty crime activities and just made them a little better.
Basically every small crime activity has been reworked table, so it's more up to date with the current state of the server, and it's
Yeah. There's a bunch more than that too. I just really shortened it. There's 50 plus new houses, plus more Vespucci houses next week. We've reclaimed 200 houses, 60 plus vehicles have been added to shops. Inventory improvements. This is another big win for the community. We have done 3 hotkey slots to 6. So you won't feel like our inventory is clunky. We've added so many things there, and the 1-2 weapon slot meta just wasn't working anymore. Because there's just so much going on. It felt pretty clunky. So we have 6 slots across the board. No more weapon only slots. And this is a big win for PD as well. Obviously, armor plates
What
are
the
still limited
fuck
to
are
10
we
in your
doing
inventory,
here?
but now they stack to 10, so it's not as annoying. So I know a lot of people were saying this is a pretty big point, but we listened to community feedback. We made it happen. And that is all I have. There's a ton more changes. I'm going to drop the change log here while we look for people to give some feedback. I'm going to take maybe 15 minutes of questions, and then we're going to get the server up and started. I think we made good time. So as always, if you have a question, tag me in the chat, and then we'll, with the question written out, and then we will, and this is the Discord chat, and then we'll take a second. South wants to rant. I'm going to do this only for the comedic relief of me insulting him, which I usually do. South, I know you need help from probably someone. Could you get your wife?
Yeah, no, I'm
to
here,
come
guys. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
thank you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Loud and clear.
I have a small rant that I've been sadly doing in my own stream lately.
Okay,
Is this the place to do that, or is this not the place?
I'll just move you to the audience if it's.
Okay. Couple things, right? There's a couple things I think we need to talk about here. One, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't ready for this. I was not ready. I didn't expect you to read it that fast. I'd actually like to be pushed back to the back of the stack here because I get a little nervous.
Okay, handled that.
Bye.
All right.
Funny guy. Is that a Call of Duty Pro?
I think he used to be a Call of Duty Pro, or like
Is there any
semi-pro.
footage of that? Is there any?
Someone's
footage of that?
asking about some of these changes if they're going to the public in Brazil and Sweden. We actually prepared the staff with a lot of these. We left MLOs that needed to be left for those places, and they're going to move businesses that need to be moved as a result as well. So they already have a lot of this stuff to work on. Some of the stuff won't be implemented on like charge maxes and stuff like that for those servers. Someone wanted to ask a question on racing, so I'm just going to bring them up really quick. I have nothing from Kevin. Nothing from.
Hey, what's going on, Rav? How you doing? You doing good?
Wait, was that AJ?
Yeah, what's up?
It was AJ.
Why the fuck is your name Little Bro?
Oh, because I'm
It's
the
his
little bro.
nickname.
Yeah. Anyways,
You stop
so
being a pick me, man.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So I just have 2 questions, right? So one is is racing, right? So I was wondering when drift kits and everything was gonna come out, because I was thinking of like getting a drift kit on my car. So
Yeah, we talked about it today. There
Fuck
will
you,
be a drift
kiddo.
store that'll be opening probably in the next couple weeks.
Okay.
I
Sounds
greenlit it
good.
today. So
Ooh. Okay. All right. Bet. Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
All right.
Okay. Who's next? DOC we can look at. I didn't get a ton of feedback, so if people give us a bunch of feedback, we'll have a look at it. Will current boosting contracts be affected by new? Yeah, come in.
Hello.
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 I was just wondering if the existing boosting contracts and the VIN scratches would be affected by these new changes, because some of them still have like ranked races and just like meth bricks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
will those still be existing?
There
new
will be.
one's
We've
gonna-
added some. We added some items to. Oh, go ahead, Smashing. Actually,
Literally, all the grinders go up there and
Mechanic
bitch about how they want to
basically
grind more.
Make sure that people who have started VIN scratches is gonna be able to progress. There will be an item that is allowing you to take a meth brick 1 grade lower, so you can make any meth brick with that special item.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
yeah, it was something we talked about. Also, people are probably gonna ask about calibration parts and stuff. There will be a trade in for those as well for some new stuff.
In HQs of the factions, there will be an NPC that will be offering you to trade to another item.
We thought about all this stuff, and we thought about player
And
feedback a lot and how
unaffiliated
people would be
HQ is
frustrated.
wide open for people, so they don't need to be a part of any faction. They can just go there and just exchange the items.
Okay, I'm gonna
Sounds
like
good.
KG you up. KG you?
Yo, what's up, boss?
Yeah. How much? What are you?
Question. So a lot of my like solo players and stuff like that I play with, like some of the clowns, or like when I play my other character, our main thing is like trying to like. Yeah, do you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, I have your stream up. There was a delay. Sorry. Sorry. So like a lot of the
Hey,
solo
Chris,
players
you're
that I
supposed
play
to
with,
close
when
it
we
out
go
and put
to, like,
summons up.
stores and stuff like that. Is there any way, or did that topic come up at all with the cops that they're going to react to the smaller crimes and stuff like that? For the not so big gang characters?
Yeah, so we upped response to a lot of more petty crimes because they were turned down a lot.
I can't
Some of them were even at like 0.1. So we have a ton of stuff done for that. So and we're gonna be looking and trying to tailor that over the next couple of days. It's on me and Smashing's list actually to make it so we have more response to petty crimes in general. So cops have an option.
Okay. For some reason, my Discord, I can't hear nothing on Discord. I can only hear from your stream. So
Change
I
it,
would just
Eileen.
think that you answered it and then
I did, yeah. I did answer.
All right.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
you,
boss man. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna invite South back. But first, let me just talk. There's more stuff for civs as well. You'll see when I post the changelog here in a bit. PD tows have been fixed, so like courtesy tows give a nice reward. We up the reward for impounds as well for tow drivers. Go get it. I think it's like $1,500, $2,000 for each one. So it's really good money for tow right now. So to encourage people to go back and do that. There's also a bunch of other shit we've done for civs and we'll be adding as well. I mentioned a couple of them. I didn't get all of them in this presentation. Go ahead, South.
Okay, sorry. I'm back and I've collected my thoughts a little bit. Sorry, you caught me off guard a little bit.
Okay.
Two things. I wasn't here at the very beginning, but did we talk about car strikes?
No. What do you have to talk about with them?
Okay, so my only concern is that there's not a lot of validity to like the car strikes for criminals in the city. So like for us to find out how many strikes we have on a car, I understand if you want to completely like just wipe a car from existence, like that makes sense, right? If we're shooting a bunch of cops, I think it may be better served if we go the route of like it's impounded for like a full week or maybe 72 hours or like a system where it's not being completely like just gone and wiped, because $200,000 for a guy like me, Ravage, I have done one gang job in a month, but I still wake up every day, 10 hours a day. And so I feel like, so for me to be punished with losing an entire car from like a gang shootout, because listen, I feel like, you know, you're kind of, and I'm just being honest, I'm allowed to speak freely, right?
Yes.
Okay, so like, look, if we're not trying to promote the PvP style, then us being able to lose to the cops without losing our cars, I would say would be, you know, we should be able to loot, like, that's my fear, right? In a cop shootout. Oh my God, if I lose this cop shootout, say goodbye to the $250,000 tailgater, you know, and then I'm gonna be driving around to Sultan.
Yeah, but why aren't you okay? Let me play devil's advocate here. Why aren't you availing from VIN scratches, from boost, from stealing a car before you get into to these shootouts? Weren't you being a smarter criminal? Like that's what the system is balanced towards, right? Is to incentivize people to use not their own cars for those. Like I get it. Like it's
Wait,
tough.
that's a thing?
Yes.
Hold on. If I put a new VIN on the car and they
No,
try
no,
to go
no,
and
no,
pound it,
no,
it's
no,
not
no, no,
gonna
no.
be-
You can get them from boosting, like full VIN scratches, or you can buy them from people who have VIN scratched them, right? For like probably a much cheaper price. That once the police impound them, it's gone. But these are not your own cars.
Wait, what? Really? That's a real thing? Does everyone know this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cooked. Okay. All right. So okay. These guys are lying. There's no way everybody knows about this.
Yeah,
Okay,
everyone
all
knows
right.
about this. Literally
Okay,
everyone
fine.
knows about this.
Okay, fine. Okay, that's fair then. That's fair. Okay, secondly,
Is this
there
guy
a way
retarded?
and or an aspect to get housing keys increased? Because once we lost the gang table, right? You used to be able to have 10 sets of keys on the house, and then you had 10 sets of keys on the table. Once we lost the tables, it takes away pretty much 10 keys from the house. Now listen, I don't have a
Okay.
huge cubby, right? Like Kay and these guys, like I don't have this huge situation. All I got is my little Mirror Park house. Shout out
Okay,
Mirror
write it
Park.
down, Smashney. We'll look at it. That's a fair point, and that's
Okay.
probably increasing the housing problem on the server. So let's look at it, Smashney, how we can fix that.
Already added to our list.
Okay, perfect. And then I have one last little rant. I'm just gonna go on a little rant here, and obviously you stop me if it's bad.
This man has my cell phone number. I just want to point that out to everyone here, and he's not told me any of this.
Okay, well that's because
Takes
I
the
just like to
community
do
meeting.
it. I like to just do it right here with you know what I mean. Just be real included, and that's what I appreciate about Prodigy. Shout out. I'm a grown ass man. I'll glaze somebody if I want to. So what I appreciate about Prodigy is that I can just speak freely, and I feel like my voice is heard. Thank you. Listen, I just want to say one thing, and because I feel like I've seen a lot of it in the city. And listen, I wake up 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. I have no fucking life. My girlfriend hates me. Okay. With that being said, I feel like in the city, there's a lot of people that don't, there's no, like, people need to start understanding that you have a role play duty to respond to some situations. And what I mean by that is that if you start something in the city,
This needs to be longer, Kato.
you have a duty to reciprocate the consequences and be okay with it.
But the other guy getting
I feel like
chased,
there's a lot of
and then
people
me
the
coming
city
in,
that are-
like, come on, man.
that are just kind of going through the motions, right? And they think that they can just do X, Y, and Z and not suffer the consequences.
But of him saying that he's getting chased.
Listen, I went through the fire in this city many times. Many times. I had CJ Lock pick up my house over a rage bait phone call. I've been through the fire, and I'm okay with that, by the way, because that's just the nature of the game. But I have been through the fire, and I feel like there's a lot of people in the city that do X, Y, and Z, and then just don't even want to suffer any of the consequences from it. And I can't stand that because I certainly go through I certainly take the consequences right to the chin, or whatever it may be. But you have a role play duty to do something about it, even if you're going to lose. There's a lot of people here that got to understand, like, we're here to create content, we're here to have fun, and we're here to create role play. And you can't create role play if you're not reciprocating your RP duty. And I just wanted to say that, and I may be completely wrong, Ravage, but I just wanted to throw that out there. That was just my,
Actually, never mind,
hopefully
Kato.
you
Hold
understand
on.
what I'm saying.
No, I think it's fair. I think the server has devolved a lot to people just be fucking idiots, in terms of like reciprocation of role play.
You couldn't buy
or
the
just
other
people
spikes?
just shutting down each other's role play. And I think it's been a real big issue on the server in general. So I think it's a valid
emulate
point.
this video.
Like, it's just been something that, if people don't have the room to breathe and role play and are just getting shit on, right, constantly,
Like, show the other guy
without
getting chased
having
and pen it back to
reciprocal role
me,
play
then,
I do think that's a big problem, and it's a big reason that we've had the lull we've had on Prodigy. It's a big part of it.
I agree.
So-
I agree.
Yeah. But yes, I do think there's one valid point though, is that saying let's just be friends after you fuck someone over 15 times
Okay.
probably also doesn't work.
Yeah, this is
Okay,
good.
well, listen, in all fairness, I'm going to say this out loud so we can all finally just put an end to this. I really, truly, here's the thing. And I'm not, listen, I'm a 34-year-old man, okay? I will respect somebody where they're respected. I just have a lot of respect for CG and K because they took me under their wing early on. And it was very hard for me to navigate that role play in the limelight. It was very difficult for me. And that is just a flat out truth. It was just really hard. I just got a lot of respect for him. So for me to cross somebody in a video game, regardless, I know we're playing a video game, but for me to cross them and like do it all for the content and do it all for the role play, it was hard for me to like lock into an RP character and be like, fuck you, Mr. K, fuck you, Ramee. Like, it was really hard for me to just say that to somebody. Like, I'm a grown man.
Listen,
you know?
South. I get you. I was only joking with you. But yeah.
Like I'll never walk up to Ravage and be like, "Fuck you, Ravage," you know, even though you're Tony Rico and you're all these other. Like it's hard for me to say that to you. Like it's just hard. I know
Yeah, I got
we
you.
have to role play it, and it's supposed to be a movie, but I can't. You know,
Listen, I
sometimes.
think that's something that a lot of people deal with across the server. It's a part of an adjustment, I think, of role playing number one and then number two.
the
with
fuck
all
is
the
this guy
content
saying?
viewers and stuff like that. It can be tough. So I
Yeah.
get you.
I mean, Ravage, especially when you and I are golfing in Hawaii from the islands, and we're coming out with updates. Like it's hard, you know.
Okay, we're gonna move.
I
him
wasn't
down.
really listening. Was
Yeah.
he saying he wants to do like a handshake foundation wipe for Bang Bang?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
BVS.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can do
clears
that.
in, He's ready to get.
Yeah,
wiped.
yeah, we can foundation wipe Bang Bang. That's easy.
Yeah, take all
It'll be
my
good.
assets.
Yeah, yeah. Props to Ricky for taking the L
Okay.
for the server. Can't just be.
I'm gonna look
BVS.
and see if I can take one person up here, and then we're done. And we're starting the server. The traps can realistically only be taken by the bigger gangs. How can smaller gangs also get these things too? By being opportunistic, making alliances.
Literally, bro. Literally.
My fire department roleplay. I'm not ready for that right now. I have too much other stuff for us to try to get off the ground. Am I getting raided on update day?
I mean, maybe
Come on.
could.
Yes. Hello.
Hey, yeah, I was just wondering if I was getting raided on update day.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we see if he metagames that. Or if he's getting raided at all. Maybe it was just a test. Anyway, I think that concludes. Farmers Market has, you can employ staff at them. Farmers Market has moved into the city to be more close to everything else. I see the stuff about keys. No need to keep posting that. We have all of that. We have major crime counters. I'd bring that up in the feedback thread. Outside that, I'm going to end it there and get the server started so people can get on with their day. Goodbye, folks, and thank you so much. Hopefully it was good, and I hope you enjoyed the third grader PowerPoint. Have a great day.
He got mad.
Bye bye.